Most people overpay for products like this. Here's why this one is different. I've been setting up a home gym for a few years now, and I keep seeing the same cheap-looking racks that either wobble when you load a big plate or take up half the room. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon, and I'll walk through why the Yunmeryker Dumbbell and Barbell Rack might just be the sensible middle ground between budget and luxury. It's the kind of piece that blends into a workout space without screaming for attention, yet still does the heavy lifting for you. First off, the construction feels solid right out of the box. The frame is made from thick-walled iron with a powder coat finish, so you get that industrial feel without the rust worries. When I first assembled it, the components snapped together without any need for extra bolts or a wrench. The design is meant to be user-friendly, but you still end up with a sturdy base that can hold a full set of 45-pound plates on each side. For anyone who's ever tried to balance a barbell on a flimsy stand, this feels like a relief. You can load up to 200 pounds without any creaking, which is perfect for when you're doing heavy deadlifts or squats at home. Stability is the next big win. The rack's legs are reinforced with crossbars that keep the whole thing from rocking, even if you're doing a sudden drop set. I've put it on a hardwood floor and on a concrete slab, and it stays put. This matters most when you're switching plates quickly between sets. You don't want the whole unit to shift under the weight. The bottom of each leg has a rubberized foot that prevents slipping and also protects your floor, making it a nice choice for apartments where you can't risk scratching the flooring. Space-saving design is a huge practical benefit for anyone living in a smaller home. At 130 centimeters long, 65 centimeters wide, and 120 centimeters tall, the rack fits neatly against a wall or in a corner, leaving enough room for a bench or a yoga mat. The vertical storage means you can keep all your dumbbells, plates, and even a barbell in a single, organized column rather than scattering them across the floor. I've seen people pile weights on chairs or under beds, only to waste time hunting for the right size. With this rack, you just walk up, pick the weight you need, and you're ready to go. It cuts down on the "where did I put that 20-pound plate" frustration. Aesthetic isn't just about looks, it's also about how a piece integrates with the rest of your setup. The Yunmeryker rack comes in a sleek black with silver accents, so it doesn't clash with a minimalist gym vibe or a more classic wood tone environment. It looks sturdy without feeling industrial, which makes it blend into a living room gym that also serves as a home office. The clean lines help keep the space feeling organized, and because it's not overly flashy, it doesn't dominate the room visually, a subtle backdrop for your workouts. When it comes to everyday use, the rack really shines in a few scenarios. If you're a beginner who's just getting into weight training, you'll appreciate the ease of sliding plates onto the barbell holders without having to balance the bar on a narrow stand. For more experienced lifters, the extra width lets you load heavier plates on each side without the center of gravity shifting too far, which means you can safely attempt higher reps on bench presses or overhead presses. It also works well for families. My wife uses the same rack for her kettlebell routines, and the designated spots keep everyone's equipment separate and easy to find. Even if you occasionally need to store a barbell for a short period, the top rail can hold it securely so you don't have to clear a spot on the floor. Now, a quick pros and cons rundown from my experience, just to keep it honest. The positives are, the build quality feels premium for the price, the stability lets you load heavy weights confidently, and the footprint is compact enough for a modest home gym. On the downside, the rack doesn't have a built-in lock for the plates, so you have to rely on the rubber feet and your own discipline to keep everything in place, and the height, while tall enough for most bars, might be a touch limiting if you have a very long barbell. Those are relatively minor issues, but worth noting before you decide. All in all, if you're hunting for a reliable, no-frills rack that keeps your equipment tidy and your workouts smooth, the Yunmeryker